Welcome to the Braving COVID-19 Operations Digitally for F&B and Retail. So the COVID-19 pandemic has changed consumer behavior, and it significantly impacted the way that people go about their daily lives. So traditionally, very brick and mortar businesses like F&B and retail saw the need to really adapt to this change as economies restart from this prolonged lockdown period. So for this two-day virtual event, we are actually exploring various innovative digital solutions that you can adopt with the help of the Digital Resilience Bonus. So before we start, I actually want to do a quick recap of what happened in day one of our event, that is last Thursday. Not sure if many of you have managed to attend our first session. So we actually had a fireside chat with business leaders from retail and F&B. So we had Aftersdown Jewelry, a jewelry retailer, as well as Harry's International, they are a well-known chain of restaurants and bars in Singapore, to share some insights of how they pivoted their business during COVID-19. So for Harry's International, I think one key takeaway for F&B businesses is that they've seen, after coming out the circuit breaker with all the social distancing regulations, that their revenue was impacted because their capacity was heavily reduced from the limitations that they have to adhere to. So one tip from him is for you to really see how you can increase the value of each customer dining in. And to do that, you can start collating data using technology that has artificial intelligence as well as business intelligence features that can help you learn more about your customers. And in particular for himself, he shared that he was using TechSquare AI Smart Menu, which actually allows them to automatically upsell, recommend things to the customers based on their past consumer spending. And from Aftersdown Jewelry, they are much smaller SME. They just started their digitalization journey. Their tip would be to make use of all the government initiatives, programs available to you. So they've made use of the e-commerce booster, productivity solutions grants, as well as the many training support programs to reskill and upskill their workers. So a tip would be, don't put your business on hold during this transformation period. So you keep working on it and find a selling point. So that's two tips that we've got away. And if you want to learn more from that discussion, you can always check back to the recording from last week. So other than that, we've also had presenters from various innovative solutions like CutUp, TechSquare, as well as EPOS. So they've shared about things like I've mentioned, AI smart menus, as well as for retail POS systems. So these are all systems that are under the Digital Resilience Bonus program. If you would like to find out more about them, you can also check back to day one's recording. So without further ado, we will actually kickstart today's session. This will be our agenda for today. We'll be starting out with Cho Hao from Just Login. He'll be sharing with you how you can digitize your manpower operations for F&B and retail. This will be followed by Victor from AgPro Singapore, who will be sharing the power of integrated cloud accounting solution. So both Just Login and AgPro, they are also part of the DRB vendors. And last but not least, we do have Doris from IMDA, who will be sharing with you a bit more about the Digital Resilience Bonus. So let me now introduce Cho Hao. So he's COO of Just Login. Just Login is an employee-first HR cloud software, and he will be sharing with you how you can centrally manage your employees working in perhaps various outlets and also automate safe workplace management. So can we have Cho Hao? So I'll let you take over.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Hope this morning's rain didn't keep you up wake you up too early. So thanks for joining this webinar. My name is Cho Hao. I'm the CEO of Just Login, and I think like every one of you here, I'm managing a SMB business as well. Just Login, it's not a very big company. It's just belongs to the same category as a medium-sized company, like or small medium-sized company, like every one of you there. Probably the only difference is that we don't we are not in the F&B or retail industry, but we actually help and service a lot of F&B and retail companies. So we actually do know quite a bit of our customers that's in this industry. So maybe from our conversations with them, I hope I'll be able to share some insights on what we can do to brave through this COVID-19. Next, please. Maybe before that, I'll start with a simple poll. I think like everyone here is a business owner, your question will be like, how do you plan? How do you plan with such a situation? How do you plan your cash flow, right? Can you do a poll, please? How do you plan? How do you know how long do you need to forecast out? How much, will there be a third wave? Will there be a fourth wave? The question is, you don't know. I can't tell. My guess is as good as yours. So I just want to ask the audience here, what do you think? When do you think this COVID situation will end? When do you think we'll be able to go back to business as normal, or if there is even a normal from now on? So just want to get your thoughts. Please spare a few minutes and just punch in your thoughts, and maybe we could have a quick glance at the results. Okay, let's have a look at the results. So everyone is predicting that it will end in 2021. Okay, that's you know what? That's a good guess. It can be right, it could be wrong. Now let's ask one of the most famous entrepreneur in this world. Let's close this and go on to the next slide. According to Bill Gates, he's predicting that we will end in 2021. The rich world will be only end of next year, not this year. So, and the whole world will only end, for the end, we'll only look at the ending in 2022. So if you look at it this way, we are situated in Southeast Asia. And in our situation, we have a lot of countries that probably might be looking at the situation that it will only end in 2022. I mean, there's a few thinking behind that. I mean, if the vaccines only be out next year, poorer countries or less developed countries will only be able to get a vaccine much later. It will be much after the developed countries have gotten it. So we could be a case like in New Zealand or in South Korea, where when things die down, a new hotspot opens up again. So the question, the point I'm trying to drive at here is that nobody knows. So as a business owner, how are you going to do your projection? When are you going to project that the things will get better by end of this year, by end of next year, or by the year, end of the following year? So that's the point. So in that sense, this is a time where being a business owner, you have to rethink your strategy and figure out what's the best way to navigate through the next couple of months. Next slide. Now, if you look at the challenges that retail face I would say easily over the next 6 months, over a year. So these will be the same challenges they will be constantly facing and navigating through a few years. First of all, I talk about first is your retail. If you're a retail, you're an F&B, you realize that you no longer can service the same amount of customers. I mean, when I was researching the retail space, one thing that they look at is how many turns you can do within a 2 or 3 hour dinner time or lunch time, right? Or how many traffic, or for retailers, how much traffic can you capture within that space of time that you have weekends and stuff. So with this reducing capacity, the retail location, the retail space itself, how much you can make from that space will be dramatically reduced. Think about it. And the other thing is, going to next, you have to hire a frontline person just to do greeting and make sure to do temperature scanning as well. Right? So you actually have to increase the head count just to manage all of that. Third thing to look at is that you'll be spending a lot more effort trying to stagger and pay attention more diligently to your shift and working hours. You have to manage your shift more diligently to make sure your employees can be staggered so they don't have to be the same group working on different teams. Will be working on different days if possible. You would have to work So to prevent any potential spread, if you've got one employee that's in one group, at least it doesn't go infected into the other group as well. So these are the thoughts and the planning that you have to do. The thing is that a lot of companies will move towards e-payments, all right? Simply because people don't want to deal with cash anymore, because cash is it's not necessarily the cleanest thing tool out there. So these are the challenges that F&B and retail will definitely face over the coming years. And if you have not really looked at how to solve this problem today, you probably will be looking at it over the next few months. So some of the strategies that we think that will help you cope over the next couple of months during such a time when there's a lot of uncertainty in the market is, first of all, you probably have to the reason why you're in this webinar as well is you have to look into how to pivot online, because by being online is the only time where you can be really agile. You also have to look into how to increase your business reach, right? Service customers that you traditionally do not reach to, you don't service. Lastly, is to reduce dependency on just headcounts. Now with like, for example, a lot of foreign workers are not accessible, or it comes to a point where you want to move teams around, you want to work with more gig economy people. You have to look into how to reduce the dependency on just humans per se, or just pure headcounts or permanent headcounts. Let's take a look at the first one. When I talk about pivoting online, especially a lot of people in the retail and F&B tend to look at maybe on the front line. How you do your Food Panda, your Deliveroo, your Grab. But there's a lot of backend systems that you also can do move to online. Things like, for example, Eating just mentioned Tap Square. It's great ordering. It's an online. It's a menu. It's a menu ordering system in the company itself. It provides you a lot of insights into how your buying behavior. It allows you to order. It allows you to reduce your headcount by ordering. So there'll be things like you can use Chop for your dining reservation instead of trying to take phone call reservation. On the back room, you can look at other areas like Stripe to handle e-commerce transactions if you're in retail or your online e-commerce. So these are all the things you have to consider. Internal chat between your teams, you can look in Slack. On the HR side, you can look to us for HR management, payroll management. So when you talk about this, is the best time to invest into digital, because only then you will be able to agile, because all this doesn't require any upfront payment. It's always on a subscription basis, per user basis, per transaction basis. So as your business grow, you pay more. If business reduces, you pay less. It's a natural, it helps you adapt much faster. Okay, next. Now, the benefits of a cloud-based system is that it also provides you a centralized view of things, right? Most of these cloud-based systems or online systems are able to tell you how much money you made quickly. You make decisions faster. It saves you a lot of time and money. Instead, you don't need to transfer documents back and forth. Um, for like if your backend systems like HR, you also look into things like it helps you reduce things like compliance issues, because everything is tracked, everything is properly measured. Even e-commerce or internet marketing, all this tracked properly. You will be able to reduce your errors and all these manual work as well. And lastly, your employees will love you, especially nowadays when you're hiring millennials. They will only work with digital format. They probably can't even use a pen and paper. So think about it. If you're not investing in an online or cloud-based system, this is the best time to invest into it, because there's so many grants going on. You have no excuse not to. Next. Now, just to give you a simple idea, for example, in Just Login, we provide an online platform just to do your payroll, and we actually integrated our payroll system to CPF, to IRAS, so you can do a one-click submission online straight into CPF. IRAS website. It's an e-file straight into IRAS, for example. These are all efforts that we try to make the online experience easier. We also do SingPass login, so all the details are authenticated. Lastly, we integrate all of things like attendance and leave modules, so you can do things like overtime calculation straight within the system and go straight into payroll. And we integrate with provide a lot of bank files that you can upload to your bank portal. So this will simplify your pay run process, and it can be done anywhere, so you don't need a physical office to do all that. Other things to look at is now that everyone is on different location, you want to track leave, you want to make sure that your leave is compliant, you want to make sure that you don't assign a person to when they're running maybe a restaurant business, or you have a shift being assigned on a person that's on leave. You can all track this within an online platform as well. Even leave management can be tracked online. So these are all just a part of our suggestion on how you can evaluate our solution as part of your online journey. Next. Now, how do you increase your business reach? I think this is also a very interesting time because, well, a lot of businesses will tend to say, oh, such a bad time. First thing they'll cut is they'll cut marketing. But I think that is a very dangerous move, because when times like that, you want to reach out to as many customers as possible and not do less marketing, because imagine the pie, you're usually attaching the same group of customers. Now, the same group of customers are either spending less or they are spending less frequently with you. So what happens is that this is your current customer base. You only have less revenue to capture from each customer. However, the only way you can broaden this up is by reaching out to more customers beyond that, much bigger space, much more customer base to reach out to, so that you can make this, even though you're making less per customer, with the increase of customer base that you reach out to, you can actually try to make up for the shortfall. So these are the times to evaluate how to market more aggressively, build your brand more aggressively, reach out. And best part is all these marketing channels are now cheaper. If you do ads, I'll tell you that you can easily bargain for magazine ad space or online advertisement space for a much cheaper rate, simply because everyone's thinking uh, in a different way. Most of them are thinking that, on contrary, they're thinking that they should hold back, whereas now you're thinking of spending. So you have actually a higher bargaining power. Deliver everywhere internationally if possible, especially in retail, or even if you have F&B, you can repackage your product to be international, to be shipped in a can, to be shipped globally. That's all possible as well. Last thing is accept as many payment types as possible. um, I think I have gone to so many retail and F&B businesses today, and the only mode of payment, even in this situation, is still cash. I was extremely shocked because I have no cash on me, and I have to walk away from the business. I took my business elsewhere simply because this company does not take in e-payments, no credit cards or no e-payments, no PayLah, Pay Now. So it was a very disappointing experience that, given such a situation, you should be allowing customers to pay you in any forms that they have as much as possible, collect as much as possible. So these are some of the things that companies in the F&B retail needs to embrace. The last thing you need to do is to lose a customer simply because you cannot accept their payment type that they have. Other things to evaluate is that, there's other than everyone's heard of Google, heard of Facebook. Yes, these are all building advertisement. You can advertise on this platform to get your name out there. But have you ever looked into how to influence your customers? Check on Instagram, check on TikTok, write a blog, build influence base to bring them to reach out to influencers to get them to talk about your product online. This is a great time to engage them, and influencers similarly are hit by COVID. They'll probably be willing to work with you at a much cheaper rate or much more affordable rate than before. So these are ideal times to reach out to these players. This other forms of marketing channel just to get your naming out. Lastly, look into accepting more payment types. Look at credit card payments, not just cash payments. Look at pay now if possible, QR code payment. So these are definitely the way to go, and I will urge all companies to use this opportunity with all these grants aligned to really digitize your business. How do you reduce dependency on headcounts? I mean, in the traditional past, people tend to think about, it's like, in order for me to do more, I just need to hire more people. We beg to differ. I think the point is that before you hire, nowadays you have to think, because hiring people is easy, but letting them go is a hard one. I mean, in HR, you should know. In management, leaving people, it's always not easy. Both, it's not easy financially, it's not easy emotional process as well. So business owner, in a sense, taking on a headcount, even managing a headcount is also a challenge. Whereas managing a system and there's no feelings involved, it's easy to make a decision like that. The cost is much lower. Managing a headcount is always a bit more challenging. So before you hire a new headcount, before you bring on board a new person to your team, think twice. Is it possible to automate it? Is it possible to invest in IT to reduce such a role? These are all possibilities. Let's have a look at a few possible solutions like outsourcing of HR, outsourcing of using freelancers, automate as much as possible. And last thing is, how do you manage these gig workers? How do you manage these gig workers? Maybe right now, all these gig workers deal through mobile phones. So these are the few ways to look at. Let's take a look at the first one. When it comes to outsourcing of, I would say today, in today's world, in today's business, there's almost everything you can outsource. I spoke to F&B people. They have outsourced things like making of sauces, right? Making of noodles, or some like for example, if F&B, a contact of mine actually outsource making of like peanut sauce, to Indonesia. So he ships them on a monthly basis of Indonesian sauces. It's manufactured much cheaper in a different country, and ships them over and then resells them. So that is and put them into his dishes. So this is amazing because you can outsource even the making of food, outsource the making of food and pastry and stuff like that. Other things to look at is that you also can outsource all your back-end operations, right? Your marketing can be outsourced, your HR can be outsourced, your accounting can be outsourced. There's a lot of freelancers out there that you can outsource to. You can check out these sites like Upwork, Fiverr. These are great sources for you to outsource. You want to get them to build a brochure for you, get these guys to do it, right? Find an outsource contractor maybe from India to help you build a brochure, design a brochure for you, build a website for you, build your e-commerce site. You do not need to hire your own team just to build all this. So in times like this, keep your team as lean as possible, outsource everything else. Next. Automate safe entry. I mean, one of the things to automate things around your office, right? Automate visitor tracking, automate reservation. One area to look at now that we have all these greater temperature scanning, automate safe entry and temperature scanning. For us, Just Login, we have actually just released a new product called Safe Clock. It allows you to do contactless temperature scanning and door access management. Okay, even do things like visitor management. So it takes a picture of the person coming into your store or your retail or your office. So all this is actually possible and does clock in for your staff as well. So these solutions are out there. So please use this opportunity to evaluate them. I'd like to show a little video on this demonstration.
SafeClock is an all-in-one contactless temperature scanner, door access, and employee attendance solution to help you transition your employees back to the workplace safely. Employees can clock in and out of work daily via facial recognition. Their timings and temperatures are automatically captured in a split second and sent into your online portal in real time. The device detects high temperatures and will send administrators an alert via email or push notification if any employee is running a fever. SafeClock can also protect your workplace by acting as a door access. You can configure access based on registered faces, body temperature, and even detection of masks. Unregistered visitors will still have their photo, temperature, and time of entry recorded in your online portal for contact tracing purposes. It is easy to register employees on SafeClock. Simply tag the unregistered user photo to an employee. Employees' clock timing on the device will be reflected in attendance reports to track working hours and overtime. Create multiple shifts easily to manage staggered hours or split shifts. SafeClock is also integrated back to Just Login's full suite of HR applications, allowing you to seamlessly manage employee payroll, leave, attendance, and expenses, even when you work from home. In Singapore, you can also integrate your work premises safe entry QR code on the device to allow employees and visitors to easily check in and out of safe entry. Clock in to work safely with SafeClock by Just Login.
Yeah, so that's basically a little preview of what some of the solutions out there in the market is. I mean, go on to the next slide. Other things to look at is when you talk about management of gig workers, right? One of the challenges that, they might be dealing with the fact that you have different branches, you have different sites, you want to make sure you clock in at the different location on different day. Now, Just Login, we actually have a mobile app that allows them to do clock in on their mobile device as in near the vicinity. So it does things like AI recognition, face recognition. And this also allows you to put in, if there's a need for you to do manually entering of temperature, you can put in there. Last thing to look at is that, we do a geofencing, so we limit the clock in only at a certain location. So it has probably be in your retail location or your F&B location before you can clock in. So that way, when you are not in the premise, you will be able to still manage your employees' clock in and clock out timing. Especially dealing gig workers or part-time workers, sometimes your rosters could change. So when you do shift assignments, they can actually go in and check what's their shift like, what time it is, and from there, who else is on shift. They'll be able to see it all through the mobile app. Next point is, plus all this information we will bring is visible on the back end, and from the back end, you will be able to have a Google Maps picture, which then you will be able to see. You'll be able to see the location which they clock in, as well as what time they clock in. So this provides you a very holistic view of the business activity that you have. I think we can start with the one last video.
Working at own days is a unique experience for employees. We have a transparent and open culture, and we try to keep communication line flowing between all levels of our staff structure. Our shop manager and area manager are selected by election, so it is voting by staff and not based on level of education or length of service, so everyone has a fair opportunity to lead. When Owndays first expanded to Singapore, there weren't yet any HR specialists on board to clarify or manage benefit and entitlements. Our HR division was soon formed and got right to work cultivating the same corporate value shared by all Owndays divisions. Fair work-life balance, benefit, and giving a chance to those who aspire to achieve more. But in order to take care of the people, first we had to cut down on the paperwork. When the new HR team started, the system in place wasn't getting the job done the way we needed them to. For example, payroll was manually processed, making it tedious and time-consuming. Leave entitlement were unclear and not standardized. Time and attendance were tracked with a punch card machine, with employees physically traveling to the office to submit timesheet. So much time wasted. And then we found Just Login. With Just Payroll, we shortened our payroll process from 1 week to 2 days. Everyone has a smartphone these days, so our employees just log into the mobile app to check their payslip. With Just Leave, they can check leave entitlement and apply leave from their mobile phone too. And Just Clock is so simple. Employees just clock in and out directly through iPad at every one of our retail outlets. No more traveling required to collect all the employee timesheet from our 26 outlets in Singapore. As a retail business, our employees play a vital role in representing our brand, so it is important to us that they are well trained and feel valued by the company. Just Login allows our HR staff to focus on what matters, our people. Now we can focus on priorities like employee engagement, internal training, improving staff benefit instead of wasting time on paperwork. With Just Login, employee satisfaction is high, our customer service consistently exceeds expectations, and we grow to 26 locations in Singapore. Just Login isn't just good at what they do, Just Login makes us better at what we do.
Okay, thank you, Chohao. I think we don't have any, we have some questions that we have answered individually, more specific ones, but if anyone has more general questions, you can just fill it in the Q&A box. We can still take it at the end of the session. So I think for now, we'll just move on to our second presenter. So next up, we have Victor Goh. He is the director of ActPro Singapore. They are an accounting firm, and they are also one of the top recommended pro-advisors of QuickBooks Online in Singapore. So Victor will be sharing with you more about the power of integrated cloud accounting system. So I'll pass it over to you, Victor.
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. So we are honored to actually partner with Just Login and IMDA to hold this educational webinar on how to brief over the COVID-19 operations digitally for F&B and retail sector. So about our firm, ActPro Singapore, we are a tech accounting firm, which means that we make use of technology to do accounting and to streamline your processes such that business owners can actually concentrate on business development while we take care of the back end accounting issues using technology. We specialize in areas related to, especially in the integrated cloud accounting services, consultancy and financials, and our main visions is to help the local SMEs to grow in like yours to become international conglomerates. So based on our research, there are 6 major pain points faced by SME. Very often there is a cash flow issues. Secondly, that is limited time and multiple tasks. You can do things fast with limited time and multitask and too many things. You face whether you in the accounting informations, do you actually gain the insights to it? And especially during the COVID-19 period itself, there is no physical documents and how to especially access the desktops. So we will have one poll itself to actually survey on what are the main challenges. You may choose more than one questions. We can just take 1 or 2 minutes. So while you're actually selecting the options, we during this circuit breaker in COVID-19, we have experienced business owners where they can't even access the physical documents during the COVID-19 and therefore cannot, their accounting department and its operations is completely down itself. And also there is a limited time as usual for multitasking. There is business owners and we are also SMP, which we need to multitask. And that is a constant challenges for all the business owners and in SME. So let's look at the results of the challenges. Oh, okay. So from what we can see is that 70% of the business owners face cash flow issues itself. I mean, there may be mixed results. This is a very common issues, and that's why we firmly believe that we need to have real-time information itself. And in COVID-19, yes, physical documents. So currently, because of technology, accounting itself actually has become totally paperless. So actually, we do accounting in the cloud, for example, and this actually helps you not to use because not actually able to access the physical documents. Problems will be resolved by this. Okay, so this comes to one of the solutions that is proven to be useful to the business owners to make better decisions, which is using a cloud accounting solutions like QuickBooks Online. But before that, we also, let's take a look at the history, just the education of how cloud technology disrupts the accounting technology, followed by how the power of the cloud ecosystem do help SMEs with all the pain points that we have listed above. As you can see, we all start with the era of DOS itself, and followed by Windows, where we have a desktop solutions, where we get a CD itself and install the accounting desktop solutions inside the CD itself. And followed by that, now we are in the era of web and mobile and cloud, where QuickBooks Online itself is a web-based version where you can actually do your accounting anytime, anywhere, whenever there is Wi-Fi. That is also very powerful mobile apps for QuickBooks Online, which with some click of a button, you can actually bill your customers digitally and electronically. So let's just go a bit deep inside how the usual traditional accounting does. In the traditional accounting, the business owners create the source documents manually using Excel and physically. Then all the evidence are then passed to the second portion process, the accountants, on a monthly, quarterly, and annually manner. And then it is then input into the desktop accounting software and Excel. Thereafter, the accountants will then again pass on to the business owners, where they will get the financial reports. But in this situation, it is economic situation, it is very hard to forecast on the futures. So it is very important to have real-time collaboration and timely financial information. And cloud accounting solutions such as QuickBooks Online do help in this manner itself, because there is, once you have saved your information either through the web or through the mobile devices, it will automatically sync, and the accountants, the business owners will get instant data, instant graphs, and you can make instant decisions, which is very important in these days. So these are some of the top 10 benefits of cloud accounting. One very I think relevant to the retail and F&B sector and other sectors as well is QuickBooks Online or cloud accounting itself is GST customized, is IRAS compliant. So in that case, automatically you will get the GST Form 5. And another thing that I would like to highlight is on the low capital investment. It's just as little as $1 per day on the subscription fees itself. And there are actually 65 customized automatic reports that can be scheduled automatically to your bosses itself. Now comes to the highlight of today's of my talk is that this is integrated cloud accounting solutions itself. So this is the cloud ecosystem. We have the QuickBooks Online in the middle dealing with the financials. We have the ePOS, which is the point of sale system, and the inventory management systems that actually help you to sum up all the sales of the day, as well as the different receipts itself in the cloud. And automatically at the end of the day, it integrates into QuickBooks Online. You do not need to even press any button. And just now, Junhao has already mentioned about the power of just login. And do note that on the payroll side, it do, and the human resource and the salary informations do integrate automatically on a monthly basis to QuickBooks Online because it is already all linked up together. So BRB, the accounting, the point of sales, and the payroll solutions, we are all actually pre-approved vendor of IMDA. And not forgetting that there are other many other apps and add-ons that actually integrates with QuickBooks Online. For example, the CRM solutions where you have converted the leads already, automatically it will goes into the customers for QuickBooks database of QuickBooks Online. And e-commerce itself, the information do integrate as well. And we have a data entries automation such as receipt banks, which automatically help you to detect which what is on the receipts, and using the power of AI, automatically it's actually linked to QuickBooks Online. So how can cloud accounting, the ecosystems help your business? So as you can see that just now, we can see that just login do helps in coming up with itemized pay slips. Whenever there are changes in CPF and tax, automatically all these are upgraded in the cloud. And it do link directly with QuickBooks Online. Secondly, point of sale systems such as ePOS also links with cloud accounting software, QuickBooks Online itself. So holistically, what happened is that at Pro Singapore, we are tech accounting firms. We look at the respective add-ons. We do review of accounts. We do annual adjustments and make sure the data are, is of a quality data for analysis. And then here comes the whole thing. Our PSG package also includes receipt bank, where the vendor's bills and the vendor's receipts itself automatically is, you can snap a picture and automatically you can upload into, no need to upload, it automatically push to QuickBooks Online. And moreover, QuickBooks Online, at Pro Singapore, QuickBooks Online is also PACPO ready, which means that it automatically links to the PACPO platform itself. And AcPro Singapore also do customize the sales invoice with the QR, with the Pay Now QR code. So everything is including the POS system, which push in the total sales and monthly sales, and just log in, pushing the staff and the part-time salary. Actually, at the end of the day, you do not need to do much accounting, and you do not need to do much even keying in. Because on the customer side, the sales side, every day ePOS sink in. On the payroll side, every monthly, your payroll salary sink in. And your payment side, your other miscellaneous vendors, it do things with using receipt banks. So actually, it really saves a lot of time, I think, especially for retail and F&B. At the end of the day, I think with some of the old POS systems itself, you do need to click, do a journal entries at the end of each month or the end of each day. And for payroll, you need to actually go into the CPF website to actually manually update the template, and for itself. And for the receipts, you need to paste your receipts. But now all are actually with the click of a button, all are integrated, and it's really very a good solutions to fully integrate it. So this comes to the end of my presentations. So if you have any questions on our QuickBooks Online packages, which also includes receipt bank, which I mentioned is automatic solutions which you can directly upload to actually QuickBooks Online, please press on the QR code itself, and we can discuss with you more in a more holistic manner itself. Yeah, that is the end of my talk today. Thank you everyone.
So if there's no other questions, then we'll probably end this session. So thank you everyone and all the speakers for attending this event. So if anyone's interested in learning about more business continuity resources, feel free to check out JustLogin's website, justlogin.com/businesscontinuity. We have a whole range of webinar sessions that you can actually tune into at your own free time. So with that, we'll end this session. Thank you and have a good day. Please remember to help us fill out the survey form when you leave this webinar. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Thanks, Doris.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Bye.
Victor. Bye-bye.